Good morning, MSJ. My name is Raymond Yin. I'm your current ASB president, and I welcome you to our walkout this year. So we are now starting the official countdown for the 17 minutes of our walkout. Thank you all for taking the time to come out here and participate this morning. We're hosting this walkout for reasons that extend beyond just politics. We planned this walkout to create a platform to let student voices be heard. We encourage all participants to respectfully take pictures, record video, and share to social media with the hashtag #Enough.
So now I'll be introducing you to our first student speaker. You do not need to hold your applause until the end, but please snap your fingers instead of clapping out of respect for the speaker. Afterwards, we'll be holding a moment of silence, followed by a second student speaker. Now, without further ado, I'd like to introduce you to Mira Segal.
Oh, okay. Is this working? Okay. 4 short weeks ago, I never thought that I would be standing up here talking about 17 young, energetic, and bright individuals who I had never known. However, as you all may know, a tragic event unfolded on February 14th, 2018, on what began as a seemingly normal day for these students and their families, but ended tragically. We are here today to mourn for and to pay respects to all of those who lost their lives at Stoneman Douglas High School in Parkland, Florida, both old and young. We mourn for all of the students who lost their lives and all of the families who lost loved ones that day. Among the fallen were also teachers, men and women who devoted their lives to helping these students achieve their dreams. Each person who lost their life that day had a full life ahead of them, filled with unlimited potential and promise. Each one had dreams to pursue, love to give, and talents to share with the world. You may be aware that there were 17 people who lost their life that day, but each one was much more than a number or a statistic. I'd like to take this moment to share with you all of them and something that they were passionate about. Today, we gather to honor Alyssa Alhadef, 14, a star soccer player for Parkland's travel soccer team. Scott Beagle, 35, a geography teacher who died a hero. Martin Anguiano, 14, a freshman who was loved and admired by all. Nicholas Droret, a 17-year-old senior who would have been an incoming freshman at the University of Indianapolis this fall. Aaron Weiss, 37, an assistant football coach who was killed when he threw himself in front of his students to protect them from the oncoming bullets. Jamie Gutenberg, 14, a freshman who was intelligent and her soul was sensitive and compassionate. Teacher Chris Hickson, 49, who would give students rides or lunch money, and if they needed it, would open up his home to them. Luke Hoyer, 15, who was said to be always happy and always smiling. Those who knew him said his smile was contagious, and so was his laugh. Kara Logran, 14, whose passion was dance. Those who knew her said she always had a smile on her face. Gina Montalto, who was only 14. She was a member of the Winter Guard on her school's marching band, and her instructors said she was the sweetest soul ever. Joaquin Oliver, 17, whose passions were basketball, football, hip-hop, urban graffiti, and the Venezuelan national soccer team. Alana Petty, 14, who volunteered to help others and rebuild after Hurricane Irma hit Florida in September. Meadow Pollock, 18. The intelligent and lively girl had been accepted at the Lynn University in Boca Raton. Helena Ramsey, 17. She had a relentless motivation towards her academic studies, and her soft, warm demeanor brought out the best in all who knew her. Peter Wang, 15. Peter was shot while holding open a door to let his fellow classmates get to safety. His selfless and heroic acts that day led to the survival of dozens of his classmates. Carmen Shentrup, 16. Carmen was a National Merit Scholar semifinalist and received many prestigious academic awards. Her smile brightened the lives of all around her. And Alex Schachter, who was only 14. Alex participated in the school marching band and orchestra And to continue his memory, a scholarship fund has been created to help other students enjoy the joys of music. So let us honor their memory, as it reminds us at once of life's fragility and that life itself is the greatest gift. They've taught us that you don't have to be old to be brave, and you don't have to be an adult to be selfless. Let us remember that heroes are ordinary people who do extraordinary things. As we go together, we will draw inspiration from heroic and selfless acts, friends who helped friends, stood in for each other, and saved lives. My hope is that no child and no teacher shall ever be in danger in an American school. No parent should fear for their sons and daughters as they kiss them goodbye in the morning. And though we remember them today, I fear that these people may be reduced to just a number or another statistic of gun violence. The best way to perpetuate their memory and remember their sacrifice is to continue the fight to make our schools and our country a safer place. Thank you.
Thank you, Mira, for that speech. In honor and memory of the victims of the Parkland shooting, we will now hold a moment of silence. Thank you. We would now like to welcome our next speaker. For this speech, you may feel free to cheer and applaud.
Hey everyone. So, having met and spoken to a couple of the survivors of the Parkland shooting myself, I know that one thing is for certain. This cannot be allowed to happen again. For far too long, politicians have given us more of the same, inaction. Newsflash, putting more guns in schools when we have a gun problem is not going to solve that problem. Thoughts and prayers are not enough when AR-15 sales are at an all-time high. And taking tens of millions of dollars in contributions from groups like the NRA is certainly not reassuring. Something needs to change. When Australia passed a comprehensive gun ban in 1996 after a mass shooting, they never had a mass shooting again. When Japan, South Korea, Israel, and other countries have done the same, they haven't seen mass shootings in decades. And when the US passed an assault weapons ban from 1994 to 2004, mass shooting deaths fell by nearly 50%. But guess what? In 2004, NRA-backed lawmakers repealed that assault weapon ban, and mass shooting deaths increased by 240%. The point is, we know that solutions exist. We don't need corrupt politicians, so-called experts, the adults who have been running the show, to tell us what works. And even if we can't prevent every mass shooting, what about the fact that 2/3 of the 30,000 gun deaths every single year are suicides? Or the fact that 40 times more people die from gun-based domestic violence than from all mass shootings combined? We're not going to wait on 60-year-old politicians to fix this, are we? No, we're not. We're going to push harder, and we're going to make noise and bring attention to the issues that adults have failed us for far too long. If the students at Parkland have proven one thing, it's that just because you don't have a vote doesn't mean you don't have a voice. All you need is a will to bring about change. So MSJ, can I hear you make some noise? I said, can I hear you make some noise? Much better. Okay. The reason we're doing this, the reason the media in the back is covering this, and the reason hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people will be marching in the next couple of weeks is because when we make noise, politicians have no choice but to respond. Let's not forget that it was students who marched in the streets and brought the US out of the war in Vietnam, or students in Parkland who marched and pushed Florida to pass real gun reforms, or students who marched in the street and brought justice to people like Trayvon Martin and Michael Brown after a slew of police shootings. We have a chance to make a real difference, but only if we continue to make noise beyond this walkout. So if you want to change things, then continue to speak out. Come to the march in San Francisco on March 24th and have your voice heard. If you want to change things, then register to vote. Even if you're 16, pre-register to vote. Because nothing scares a politician more than thousands of people coming to the booths demanding change. And if you want to change things, then contact your representatives. And I don't just mean the predominantly liberal politicians in California. Sunnyvale has tighter gun laws and better mental health regulations than the rest of California because people have gone to city council and pushed for real gun reform. And most importantly, if you want to change things, then don't forget. Don't forget that this happened. Don't forget that students have gone ignored in the political system far too long. Keep talking and keep spreading the word. And I'm confident that if we keep making noise, things can change for the better. So, one last time, and this has to be the best one. MSJ, can I hear you make some noise? Thank you very much, guys.
Thank you, Devesh. In April, ASB will be hosting a voter registration drive here on campus. If you are 16 or older, you can pre-register to vote. This means once you turn 18, you'll be ready to go out and vote in the coming elections. Our goal is to register at least 50% of those 16 and older at MSJ by April 20th, which is the National School Walkout Day and 19th anniversary of the Columbine shootings. Exercise your right to vote and never doubt your power to make a difference in this world. Thank you.
Thank you all once again for coming out to support this walkout. We want to show that we, as a group of students and faculty, can use our voices to influence change, no matter the proportions. From this day forward, let us speak up and challenge current policies, for all change is inspired by individual action. This concludes the 17 minutes for a walkout. Don't forget to sign the poster along the office wall on your way back to your classes or throughout the day. Now, please return to your second period classrooms. Thank you.